one thing that we can do is try to relay this hash to other systems to see if there's permissions for that user to authenticate to other hosts on the network. So this is where our second tool, NTLM Relay X, comes into picture. So what I want to do, we've closed out responder. I just want to reconfigure it to change SMB to off and turn HTTP to off, because we're not going to use those within this. With SMB on, it's going to respond and it's going to put the hash on the console within the terminal here. We don't want that. What we want it to do is pass that on to the NTLM Relay X and have NTLM Relay X do that. By default, this in packet script is going to run on the host, and it's going to attempt to dump the local security account manager, the SAM hashes. Those hashes are different than net NTLM v1 or v2, as they are just NTLM. You can pass those hashes to the same machine where you can't with net NTLM v1, v2. But before we do this, a tool that we use and what we want to see is you can't pass this onto the same machine, and also with SMB signing enabled in place on these machines, we aren't able to do this attack either. So what we want to do is try to find these hosts on the network that have SMB signing disabled. And this is what we use CrackMap exec for this tool. Like I said, there's a ton of things that you can do with remote code execution, but an easy thing to do with this is to generate quickly through the network a list of targets on the network that have SMB signing disabled. So you can see here, I've configured CrackMap exec, the protocol that I want to use, SMB, the network that we're on, /24, we'll generate a list and we're going to put it into our target.txt file. So we'll launch this and it'll start up, and you can see it'll give us some information about the host on the network, what the machine name is, the domain, and then what we really care about is SMB signing, false, disabled. You can see here it is true. So we're seeing 2 hosts on the network. This will go through the whole network. It would take some time to do that usually. So we've got the hosts that we needed. We have them outputted into our text file. So we're going to use those in our next attack. So I'm just going to close out this and it's going to shut down. It would take some time, but in this lab environment, those are the hosts that we need for this demonstration. So what we want to do is start our responder session back up now that we have SMB signing off and we have HTTP off. You can see here SMB is off and HTTP is off. So we have our Python script. We're going to hit run on it. Like I said, it's going to spin up, start our servers. We're going to wait for connections. We have traffic coming through here. So as I said, it's going to try to dump the SAM hashes onto this. And these are other hashes that we can get, and we can take these offline, put these into our password cracker. Again, try to crack and see what these local hashes are on these systems. You go back to CrackMap exec. You can use that to pass these hashes onto the systems to authenticate for that remote code execution. And again, we're not needing any of the passwords. We don't need passwords to do this. We're just getting the hashes that are being thrown around the network. As you can see, we have some connections coming in. We're actually dumping the SAM hashes now. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop this since we have what we need, what I'm looking for this demonstration. So we'll exit out of responder and actually just start responder back up because we can leave that running. So let's look and see what happens. So we had a connection come in from the .100 host, which has SMB signing disabled. We can see that we could attack the .101 target and it succeeded. So what it's going to do as it succeeds, it's going to go and dump the local SAM hashes on there. So we're bypassing this whole strong password policy, complex password policy that organizations may implement in their environment. We're relaying those hashes to other systems and gaining access without ever knowing what the password is.